staying with my, or I was staying with my son and his young family, and my grandson, just as I was getting ready to get in the car, fell down and took a hunk out of his head. Ooh. Oh, no, it's okay, but it was one of those things where I couldn't say, well, I'll see you out in the car, so I apologize to you and to everybody at the panel for being late. Well, don't let me stop things.
No, we've covered everything.
Time to leave?
So glad you're here now.
We're waiting for the
Next installment, okay.
My question's for Anne.
Okay.
Anne, one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a movie is in Trolls, when your mother metamorphosizes into you. That is just so, I just loved it. I don't know why. I just did. But, so I was wondering, they're making this new Lost in Space movie. Did they approach you to play?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Because I know you did an excellent job in Magnum P.I.
Oh.
When you did that flashback episode, that was great.
Well, there kind of really aren't a mother and daughter that look as much alike as we do. We're it. I mean, no. There are lots of other mothers and daughters that are, I mean, Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis, but they just don't look quite as much alike as my mother and I do.
No, they don't. And would you do the part of Maureen Robinson if it was offered to you? Or would you want to keep your career a little separate?
I can't answer that question. I would have to read it, you know, and I mean, I have always kept my career separate from my mother's, except for those, there have been 3 times that we have played the same person. And that was just like so much fun that we couldn't say no, you know.
Well, thank you for that really nice piece of film, because I just loved it.
Oh, well, thanks.
You brought up Jamie Lee Curtis, and the one episode that Jim and I wrote called Two for Twilly, which was going to be done, and I think that it didn't get done for budgetary reasons. The script was done, and we even had casting going on, and Jamie Lee came in to read for one of the parts. And she only had Halloween under her belt at the time, but it might have been interesting if she had...
Wasn't she doing Operation Petticoat at the time? Wasn't she under contract doing Operation Petticoat?
She may have been, yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, we're out of time for this panel, so let's give our guests a big hand.
Wonderful, Jim. Thanks.
And it's too bad we didn't get to ask any questions of Jim down there.
My pleasure.
Quick minute. Okay, let's do it.
Well, I'm a little bit at a loss since I don't know what went before, getting here late.
Well, he said this, and she said that, and he said that, and then he went that way, and he went this way, and she said that, and I said this, okay?
Oh, you took care of this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to one very quick thing. Terry mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis came in to read for us in Two for Twilly, and some of you who were here 2 years ago probably will remember the story. The reading, there were some lines in the script that could be read 2 different ways, and Jamie was in kind of a silly mood that day. We had no idea who she was. We knew her name, but didn't know the relationship and so forth. And so Jamie got the giggles, and she was reading with another young actress, and it didn't go real well in terms of whether she would be able to handle this part or not from our point of view. So when she left, I had the audacity to say to Terry and Don Belisario, and I believe Glenn was there, I can't remember, I said, gee, I've been in a lot of auditions, but this is probably one of the least successful ones I've ever seen. I said, that poor kid's never going to go anywhere. So after that, I quit making predictions. That's my story.
Quick question here, Richard. You're going to be, after this panel, be in the memorabilia room signing autographs. And
I'll sign for a few minutes, yes.
Okay, so 15 minutes, real quick.
I gotta go get my kids at school.
Parents, Sue, Jim?
If they want my autograph.
Sure. Okay.
As long as it isn't a check.
Well, thank you very much for attending. We'll
Thank
see
you all very much.
Thanks very much.
Our first guest will be here for about 15 seconds, so get your cameras ready.